Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Raw Radiant Health, and I'm Natasha, and thank you so much for joining me. So I have great news to report to you guys. You know how last Friday I showed you guys the superfood fudge balls that I was making for that life coaching event. Well, there was a restaurant owner there, and she loved them so much that she's actually going to be carrying them in her restaurants. So I'm like super happy because my love is being spread around Montreal. So it is great, great, great. So on to today's episode. Last week I was talking, I mentioned journaling in one of the episodes. I think I was talking about journaling in relation to checking in with yourself and the importance of taking time out to reflect. And someone had wrote me a few questions about journaling and for me to talk about, you know, how I journal and things like that. And it's funny because, you know, I've been journaling since I was a kid. Like, I was always a little bit of a loner. This is something I always liked to do, was, you know, be in my little corner and write and think all the time. And I love journaling because it's the one thing that it helps me to find a balance in my life, and it really helps me to gain perspective of things that are going on that sometimes get, you know, over emotional or blown out of proportion, or times when things are not so good and I have nowhere to go. And this is a place I can go where it's safe. I can put everything out on the table, be honest with myself, and it really just helps me to reconnect with what it is I want, how I want to live my life, and what is going on around me. And one thing I find is that, you know, everyone who's watching this is obviously trying to have a healthier life, and you know, most of my videos are about food and diet and nutrition, and you know, and those things are all great, but at the same time you can be eating the best food on the planet, but if you're stressed out, if you're miserable, if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're anxious, if you're depressed, you know, you can only take your health so far, because those things play a role in your health. And so the goal is to be, you know, to be in peak condition on all levels, you know, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, on a mental level, on a fitness level, on a diet level, on every level, on a social level. Like, you know, it's a matter of raising the bar in everything that we're doing and reaching our fullest potential. So today I want to talk about journaling and maybe give you guys some ideas. And if you haven't ever tried this out, I suggest you do. Just go and get like a little notebook or make one on your own, or, you know, just, I mean, I used to do it on like scrap pieces of paper, like back in the day. So, I mean, you know, you can write on anything and do what you want to do. And here is my current journal, and I like small ones that I can actually carry in my bag with me, because as you guys know, I love to travel, and so I like things that are like lightweight and that I can have with me. And I love carrying around a journal with me in my daily life, because there's a lot of times where I'm like meeting up with friends and, you know, everyone's always late. I'm one of these people that's always early and everyone is always late. And so I always make sure to keep my journal with me and a pen. And so anytime I have to do a little writing and to reflect and just to like vent, I take it as an opportunity. And so pretty much I like to write in my journal at least once a day. I'm thinking I'm actually going to start doing it twice a day. Like, you guys have actually inspired me to, like, you know, take this up a notch. And the reason why is because I think it's great to start the day with journaling, because I find whatever you do in the morning is going to determine whether your day is going to be like fabulous or it's going to be a little gray. And so first thing in the morning, if you can get 5-10 minutes in of, you know, just writing things out, reflecting on where you're at. If you're upset about something, get that out on the paper, because I find whatever I write down in a journal, it stays in the journal and it allows me to let it out of me. And I'd rather sort of transmit it into a book and take it out of me rather than carrying around, you know, just unsettling emotions and thoughts and worries and anger and resentment and all sorts of stuff. So I'd rather be putting it into this book. And what I find is that first thing in the morning, like one great trick I learned from, I have a healer here in Montreal that has been working with me for many years. She's incredible. And say it's probably about maybe a year and a half ago, I was in a pretty bad funk, and she had me every day, twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. She'd have me for like 5 minutes. I'd have to write down first thing in the morning all the things that I want to achieve in the day. So it'd be sort of like my short-term goals, right? And it would be, you know, like I'm gonna go to the gym and have the most, you know, kick-ass workout, or I'm gonna phone these people and we're gonna have a great conversation. I'm gonna get on top of paying the bills and be organized. So it'd be more short-term things of what I'm gonna get done that day. That's what I would do, write a list on first thing in the morning. And then she'd have me write a list in the evening of my long-term goals. And that would be, you know, where I'm living, how I'm feeling, who am I with, you know, what's my life like, all of that. And she'd actually make me write it out by hand, and I would do it in my journal. And then she'd also make me type it up and send it to her. It was great because it was the one way of getting me out of my funk, and for me to get organized, deal with what's in front of me, and also to start working on what I want to achieve in the long term, you know. And if you don't know what you want, you're never gonna get there. So journaling is a way of like sitting down with yourself and being like, okay, what is it you want? What is it you're doing? What is it you're working for? Are you spinning your wheels, or are you actually like going somewhere? And so this was a great exercise for me. That on top of it, what I do every day is I actually, first thing in the morning, I write down my daily appreciations. And it's usually, I have a list of five things that I appreciate. And I either do that first thing in the morning or at the end of the day. And along with the 5 appreciations, I also like to list 5 compassionate acts. 5 things that I do every single day that is an act of compassion. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be like Mother Teresa and like open up an orphanage tomorrow. But what it means is, like, for me, it's about being aware that, you know, at the end of the day, I want to know that I did 5 good things for other people. And that could be like smiling at someone. That could be like helping an old lady bring her groceries home. It could be saying thank you. It could be calling up someone to see how they're doing. 5 things a day. And if anyone ever wants to know how to get rid of depression, that is a fabulous trick, because it gets you out of the me world and into what can I do for others. So these are a few ideas, and if you haven't tried journaling already, get into it, try it out, because you'd be amazed. It might be that one thing, the one like missing thing that you needed in your life. So I'm wishing you guys a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!